What if I told you that the future of feeding our planet isn't on land, but floating on the open ocean? Welcome as we take a deep dive into the incredible world of billion-dollar floating fish farms. You might be picturing a few nets in a quiet bay, but think bigger, much bigger. We're talking about colossal, technologically advanced structures. Some the size of multiple football fields, engineered to withstand the harshest ocean conditions. These aren't just farms, they're floating cities dedicated to one crucial mission: aquaculture. Why is this so important? Well, our global population is booming, and so is our appetite for seafood. Traditional fishing methods are pushing wild fish stocks to their limits. The ocean just can't keep up. Aquaculture, or fish farming, has stepped in to fill the gap. And now it provides more than half of all the seafood we eat. But coastal fish farms have their own problems, like pollution and limited space. So the industry is looking to a new frontier: the deep, open ocean. This is where the billion-dollar investments come into play. Imagine a giant, semi-submersible vessel, a marvel of marine engineering. On board, not oil or gas, but millions of salmon, tuna, or grouper swimming in massive deep-water pens. These offshore farms, often located miles from the coast, are designed to be more sustainable. The strong ocean currents naturally flush waste away, preventing the buildup of pollutants that can plague coastal farms. The deeper, cleaner water also means healthier fish with less need for antibiotics or other treatments. It's a win-win, better for the environment and better for the fish. Let's take a closer look at one of these behemoths. Take Norway's Ocean Farm 1, for example. This is a prototype that cost hundreds of millions of dollars to build. It's an immense 68-meter tall structure that can hold 1.5 million salmon. It's equipped with an arsenal of technology, sensors that monitor water quality, oxygen levels, and fish behavior 24/7. Automated feeding systems deliver precisely the right amount of food, reducing waste. Underwater cameras and advanced software use artificial intelligence to track the health and growth of every single fish, spotting signs of disease before they can spread. The control room for one of these farms looks more like a NASA mission control center than a farmer's shed. Technicians monitor screens displaying real-time data from across the entire facility. They can adjust feeding schedules, deploy cleaning robots, and even guide the whole structure to a new location if a storm approaches, all with the click of a mouse. This isn't just farming, it's precision agriculture on a scale we've never seen before. This level of control allows for optimal growing conditions, resulting in high-quality fish produced with maximum efficiency. So, who's behind these massive projects? It's a mix of established seafood giants, innovative tech startups, and governments who see offshore aquaculture as a key to future food security. Countries like Norway, China, and Chile are leading the charge, investing billions to develop the technology and infrastructure needed to move fish farming further out to sea. China, for instance, has launched the Deep Blue No, 1. The world's largest and most advanced intelligent aquaculture cage, capable of raising fish in waters up to 50 meters deep. It's a global race to dominate the next wave of food production. Of course, it's not all smooth sailing. Building and operating these billion-dollar farms in the middle of the ocean presents huge challenges. You need to engineer structures that can survive typhoons and rogue waves. You need reliable power sources far from land, and you need a highly skilled workforce willing to live and work in isolated, demanding conditions for weeks at a time. The logistics of harvesting the fish and transporting them back to shore are also incredibly complex. It's a high-risk, high-reward venture. And then there are the environmental questions. While offshore farms solve some of the problems of their coastal counterparts, they introduce new ones. What is the long-term impact of concentrating millions of fish in one area of the open ocean? Could escaped farmed fish interbreed with wild populations and disrupt local ecosystems? And how do we prevent the spread of parasites like sea lice from these farms to wild fish stocks? These are critical questions that scientists and engineers are working hard to answer. New designs incorporate multiple layers of nets to prevent escapes, and some farms are even experimenting with raising sterile fish to eliminate the risk of interbreeding. Let's talk about the species being farmed. While salmon has long been the king of aquaculture, these new offshore platforms are opening up possibilities for other, more challenging species. Bluefin tuna, for example, are powerful, fast-swimming fish that need a lot of space. Farming them in coastal pens has proven difficult, but in these massive deep-water enclosures, they have more room to thrive. Successfully farming high-value species like tuna could revolutionize the seafood market and take even more pressure off their critically endangered wild counterparts. Imagine a world where enjoying a delicious tuna steak doesn't come with a side of ecological guilt. The future of these floating farms is even more futuristic. Researchers are developing fully autonomous, submersible farms that could operate deep beneath the surface, completely unaffected by storms. Picture a fleet of robotic submarines tending to fish in giant underwater spheres. Others are exploring integrated multi-trophic aquaculture, where different species are farmed together in a balanced ecosystem. For example, the waste from the fish could be used to feed seaweed and shellfish, which in turn helped clean the water. It's a closed-loop system that mimics a natural marine environment, creating a truly sustainable model for food production. As our world grapples with the immense challenge of feeding a population expected to reach 10 billion by 2050, we need bold, innovative solutions. Land-based agriculture is straining our freshwater and soil resources. The ocean, which covers over 70% of our planet, holds incredible potential. These billion-dollar floating fish farms, these high-tech marvels of the sea, represent a giant leap forward in our quest for sustainable food security. They're not just about growing fish, they're about pioneering a new relationship with our oceans, one based on technology, responsibility, and a vision for a well-fed future. It's a fascinating, complex, and rapidly evolving field, from engineering and robotics to marine biology and data science. It's a convergence of disciplines pushing the boundaries of what's possible. The next time you see salmon or tuna on your plate, take a moment to consider its journey. It may not have come from a wild river or a vast ocean, but from one of these incredible floating cities of the sea. Thanks for watching, and if you found this deep dive fascinating, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more explorations into the technology that's shaping our world. See you next time.